Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is the AEW Dynamite review for January 1st, 2020. If this is your first time on the channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slamhub Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. So this was their homecoming edition and also the 1-year anniversary for AEW. Show opens up with a video package looking at the Elite, who are in a bit of a downfall since the launch of AEW. On commentary we had JR, Excalibur and Taz, who was filling in for Tony Schiavone. So first match of the night was Darby Allin versus Cody. We had a small video package for this match. This was actually a rematch after their match at Fyter Fest went to a draw. Arn Anderson is out with Cody as his new manager slash head coach. Match begins, they lock up and Cody takes him to the ropes. He follows with shoulder tackles, lock up and Allin works into counters and cradles Cody for one. He goes for repeated covers and they trade near falls. Cody talks with Arn, looks for crossroads, countered and Cody follows with strikes and dumps Allin. Allin trips up Cody on the apron and follows with a suicide dive, attacking the shoulder of Cody. He posts Cody and back in. Cody counters with a wrecking ball dropkick. Allin attacks the shoulder, slams Cody to the buckles and covers for two. Cody cuts him off and locks in a figure four. Allin fights and reverses the hold. Cody rolls it back and Allin makes the ropes. Allin kicks at the shoulder, slams him to the buckles and covers for two. He works an armbar, traps both arms and Cody makes the ropes. Allin keeps attacking the shoulder and arm, pulls off a buckle pad and gets dumped to the ramp. He heads up top and follows with a high cross, but Cody counters and covers for two. A snap slam by Cody. Both men are down and Cody fires with kicks and mounted strikes. The Cody cutter follows and he celebrates. He stomps at the knee of Allin, then the hands and takes him up top. Cody follows him up and the reverse superplex follows for two. Cody locks in a figure four, but Allin fights and makes the ropes. They work to the ramp and Cody follows with a slam. Back in and Cody takes Allin up top. Allin fights back and hits an avalanche code red. They trade stunner by Allin and he heads up top, but Cody rolls to the apron. Allin hits the coffin drop anyway and both spill to the floor. Back in and Cody cuts him off and Allin counters the Cody cutter, but Cody counters the stunner into crossroads for a great near fall. Cody is frustrated, charges and hits the exposed buckle. Cody counters the coffin drop with the knees and cradles Allin for the win. I was really rooting for Darby Allin to win here because this could have been a huge deal that Darby Allin beat a high caliber performer like Cody. The match was really good, similar to their first match. I'm also liking the managerial role played by Arn Anderson. Let's see what more he can do in the coming days. SCU cuts a promo and talks about the Dark Order coming for them and calls them spooky perverts. Sammy Guvera arrives doing his normal vlog and makes fun of Daniels for being old and losing all the time. Daniels then challenges Guvera for a match next week. AEW Women's Championship match, Riho vs Nyla Rose vs Britt Baker vs Hikaru Shida. Rose attacks Riho and Baker with the championship. Shida cuts her off with kendo stick shots and hits the running knee strike for a two. Riho batters back. Shida runs her into Baker and Rose drags her to the floor. Rose pulls out a table and sets it up. Shida attacks, but Riho flies to the floor with a high cross on Shida. Rose cuts her off and they all brawl on the floor. Baker and Rose roll back in and Rose hits a spine buster. Rose works her over in the corner, beats down Riho and hits a Samoan drop on Baker. She powerbombs Riho on Baker and Shida breaks up the pin. Shida counters the powerbomb, follows with strikes and Rose drapes her over the ropes, heads up top and hits the flying knee strike to the floor and Rose lays Shida on the table, heads to the apron and sentons her through it. Riho hits an apron double stomp on Rose. Baker then covers for two. She locks in the lockjaw. Rose powered out and hit a powerbomb for a 2 count as Riho broke up the pin. Standing double stomp by Riho, she heads up top and the double stomp follows, but Baker super kicks Riho and follows with the neckbreaker for 2. Baker heads up top and Shida cuts her off and superplexes her back in the ring. She suplexes Riho onto Rose and a backbreaker gets 2 on Baker. As Rose hits a German, she stacks up Shida and Riho, heads up top and misses the big senton. Shida misses a knee strike, double knees by Riho, but Shida breaks it up and picks up a great near fall. Super kick by Baker and lockjaw follows on Shida, but Riho cradles Baker to retain the AEW Women's Championship. This was a very good match. All 4 women looked great. All the near falls was the thing that really kept the crowd fully invested in. Post-match, Rose attacks Riho, lays Riho on a table and hits a splash off the ropes to put her through it. So they could play off this in Riho's match next week against Chris Statlander, which could affect the outcome of this match. Joey Janela is interviewed until Penelope Ford low blows him and leaves with Kip Sabian. We get a Dark Order video package. Evil Uno was telling the quote-unquote Exalted One that the elite has fallen. Soon everyone will see the true reach of the Dark Order. John Moxley vs Trent. Chuck and Orange Cassidy were at ringside. They lock up and work to the mat. Trent fights to his feet and takes Moxley down. They trade shoulder tackles. Trent slaps Moxley and Moxley lights him with chops of his own. They trade and Trent hits a running Meteora. Moxley dumps him onto the ropes and heads back in the ring. He follows with the sliding clothesline for a 2 count and works the half crab. Trent escapes, they work up top and Moxley hits the superplex for 2 count. He then grounds things with an STF. Back from commercial, Moxley works over Trent on the floor, but Trent hits a desperation spear. Back in and Trent follows with chops and a half and half suplex and Moxley spills to the floor. Trent follows with a tope con back in and the tornado DDT connects for a 2 count. Moxley counters back with the running knee and a release suplex for a 2 count. They work into counter and trade near falls until Moxley hits a lariat. Trent fires back with a lariat of his own and that gets 2. Orange Cassidy comes in to distract Moxley. Both men square up with hands in their pockets and before we get an epic showdown, Trent comes in, hits a knee strike and a pile drive for a 2. Moxley rolls to the ramp. Trent heads up top and flies off and hits a paradigm shift on the ramp. Back in and Moxley hits a second paradigm shift for the win. This was a very decent match and that's that. Post-match, Sammy Guvera arrives from the crowd. He said that there is a surprise for John Moxley. Chris Jericho shows up via video and praises Moxley. He said that he wants him in the inner circle and says that they are offering him more than anyone else. Jericho wants him to co-lead the inner circle, 49% of it, and a new Ford GT worth millions of dollars, which they all pitched in to buy him. They even got him a Mox custom license plate. Jericho added that they can take control together and run AEW, ruin the Bucks, Cody, Omega and Jungle Boy, who he claims he beat. Just say yes, they'll be waiting. Jericho lives in Mox's new car. Moxley takes the mic and says the truth is Jericho has been a friend and a mentor, but he will give his answer in person next week. Sammy Guvera vs Dustin Rhodes. Dustin sneaks in and attacks Sammy from behind. He follows with a clothesline and slam and then dumps him. He follows with the apron cannonball to the floor. Back in and Dustin heads up top and Jake Hager arrives to distract him. Sammy attacks but Dustin hits the snap slam on the floor. Back in and Dustin looks to attack Hager but Sammy attacks. Sammy takes the ref as Hager walks over Dustin on the floor. Dustin made a comeback, fires back and Cradle gets the 2. Sammy cuts him off and he gets a Cradle of his own for a 2 count. He heads up top and rolls through on the shooting star press and Dustin hits him with the snap slam for a 2 count. He follows with strikes, a boot and a spine buster for a 2 count. Sammy counters back with an enziguri and a running shooting star press for 2. On the apron and Dustin counters and hits a Canadian destroyer on the apron. Back in, Dustin takes out Hager and dumps Sammy onto him. Dustin sets up Sammy on the apron and was looking for the natural kick, but referee stops him. Hager low blows Dustin and that allows Sammy to get the win here. This was a good match as they continue to build Dustin vs Hager. which could be happening at Revolution. MJF and Wardlow arrive. MJF mocks the crowd for having their heads up their asses and being stupid. He runs down Cody and says Cody needs him in 2020. He then lays off his stipulations for their match, which will take place at Revolution. He lays down the stipulation for their match, which are the following. If Cody touches him, there will be no match ever. The match will take place if Cody beats an opponent of his choosing, that is Wardlow. MJF then says that this match will take place inside a steel cage. And finally, live on TNT, in front of his hometown crowd in Atlanta, Cody will get down on his knees and be whipped by MJF 10 times. As he rips off his flesh, Cody will always be reminded that MJF is better than him. Let's wait and see where this goes. I think Wardlow vs Cody is gonna be good, knowing that Cody has the ability to make anyone look great in the ring. And that's what an unknown name like Wardlow needs for a first impression. And seeing that Cody is desperate for a match against MJF, he will accept to be humiliated in front of his hometown in Atlanta. And that's gonna add more drama to this already awesome feud. Moving on, Jungle Boy comments on his recent match with Jericho, who he went 10 minutes with. He said that 2020 will be a big year for the Jurassic Express. And that's that. Commentators ran through the card for next week. There will be a Memphis Legends tribute show, AEW Women's Championship match, Riho vs Chris Statlander. Cody and Dustin Rhodes will be facing the Lucha Bros. Sammy Guvera vs Christopher Daniels. Private Party vs Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Britt Baker arrives and was furious over her loss, claiming she's the face of the division and leaves. Main event time, the Elite vs the Lucha Brothers and Pac. A drunk Hangman Page joins commentary with a drink. Onto the match, Kenny and Pentagon begin. Pentagon removes his glove and Kenny takes it and slaps him with it. Pentagon rakes the ice, they trade chops and Pac distracts Kenny as Pentagon attacks. Phoenix in, but Kenny cuts them off and tags in Nick. They lock up and trade shoulder tackles as they work into counters and Nick drop kicks him to the floor. Phoenix cuts him off with a dropkick and back in. They trade and work into a double down and keep back up. Matt was in and they clear the ring as double team follows. Kenny joins in and they triple team Phoenix. They then work over Pentagon as well and run wild as they clear the ring. Phoenix battles back and follows with an avalanche Rana on Nick. Kenny dumps Pentagon, hits a Rana and Pac cuts him off and follows with the Flossbury flop. Back in and Pac lays the boards to Kenny. They isolate and triple team Kenny as they stop the tag until Kenny finally rolls for it. Hot tag, Nick runs wild and Matt joins him for double teams and a destroyer on Pac. A combo destroyers follow on the Lucha Brothers. Kenny tags back in. He wants Pac, dares him to hit him and they trade. Snap German by Pac, but Kenny rebounds with a V-trigger and the Snapdragon. The powerbomb follows but Pentagon makes the save. It breaks down, backstabber by Pentagon on Kenny. The Bucks make the save with super kicks. Phoenix takes out the Bucks with the combo cutter. Phoenix tags in Pac, who hit a black arrow and gets a 2 as the Bucks makes the save. Pac gets the brutalizer but Matt breaks it up. They take out the Lucha Bros. Phoenix tags in and flies into a V-trigger. Kenny hit the one-winged angel on Phoenix, which got them the win here. This was a very action-packed match and the crowd really loved it. So that was AEW Dynamite. This was a good, if not a great show. This show really delivered after what all happened in the last Dynamite we had. They are really building some things up as we get close to the next pay-per-view, Revolution. So what did you guys think about AEW Dynamite this week? Let me know in the comment section below or on social media. You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamHubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slamhub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. And if you are watching on YouTube, then make sure to like this video. The like goals for this video are 10 likes, so make sure you do that. And we will see you guys next time.